Hello everyone, welcome you all. So today in this video, we will see how to deal with the Excel sheet in our Eclipse IDE by using Java codes. So for that, what we need, the very first and important thing we need is to download the Apache Poe files. These are the jar files, and these are being provided for the Java library. And what we have to do, we have to download all these, and then we have to connect all those files with our Eclipse IDE so that we can run, or we can connect our Excel sheet with the Eclipse IDE or with our Java coding. So for that, let's see first what is Apache Poe. Right, so this Apache Poe is a kind of open source Java library, and it provides the user to create, to read, and to edit the Microsoft Office files. Which kind of files it can deal? It can deal the Excel files, let's say Excel file. It can deal with the Word files, and it can deal with the PowerPoint files also. So in earlier time, for the Word documents, the extension was I'll say .doc, and nowadays it is as .docx, right? And for Excel sheet, earlier it was XLS, I will say XLS, and nowadays the extension is .xlsx. So this is the important thing to remember, that nowadays the Excel files that we have to deal are with this extension, and the Word documents is with this extension. So what we have to do to deal with the Excel file, first of all, we have to download the Apache Poe. So in this video we will learn how to download it, and then we will learn how to connect this Apache Poe to our Eclipse IDE, and then we will see what will it provide us, right? So what we have to do, let's go to our browser. In our browser, what we have to do, we will search for Apache Poe, and in here you can see we have the option as download release artifacts. If I click on that, you will get this page, and just scroll it down, and here you can see one option is source distribution and another one is the binary artifacts. So we have to go to this binary artifacts, and if we will click on the archives of prior release, it will take us here. Now click again on this binary artifacts, and it will take you another page, and just scroll down and you can see the zip folder for the latest Apache Poe files. So here this is 2022, and this is the latest zip file for the these Apache Poe jar files. So what we have to do, we will click on that. Once you click on that, it will get download, and you can get these files in your download folder. So once we will go here, you can see I have already downloaded it, and once it will get download, it will be in this zip kind of folder. So what we have to do, we will do right click on that, and we can extract all and just finish. So once we will extract it, another folder with the same name will be created over there, and we can see all the jar files over there in the folder. So let the extraction get complete, then we can see the file types in this Poe bin 5.2.3. So it has opened over here already automatically after the extraction. Once you click on that, you can see there are these are this is the jar file, right? This cup shape structured icons you can see over there. These all files are important. If you go to auxiliary, here also you can see the same thing. Go back in the XML, also you can see all these kind of jar files only, and then go back. If you go back here, and in your lib folder, you can also see again these jar files. So we have to get all these files in our Eclipse IDE, right? We have to connect all this. So what we have to do for that, what we will be doing, let's open it here, and I'll make it one side, right? So what we have to do, we will connect it. So for connection, what can we do? Let's go to our Eclipse IDE, and here you can see you need to check which path your this workspace do have. If I'll go to file and if I'll go to switch workspace, here I can see that this is the path. Before this folder, whatever is there is the path for your Eclipse workspace. So it is in C drive under the folder user, and under the folder munch you'll get this Eclipse workspace. So if I will go where, here I guess, yeah, here. So you can see let's go back to this PC, and here you can go to window like this drive C, and then you need to go users. Like this is my path. In your computer it will be a different path, right? So you have to check it. And here my workspace is this Eclipse workspace. I will click on that and I can see the project name as Java Part 1, and this is the same project, right? So if I will click on here, what I have to do, I have to create a folder. Let me create a folder as new folder and named it as POI, boy. Once I got here, what I have to do in my Eclipse ID, I just can simply refresh it. And once I refresh, this folder came here. This folder is right now empty. It has nothing inside that. What we have to do, we have to put all the jar files from Apache POI library to this folder over here, right? To this folder. Let's open the another one. This is our main downloads where we downloaded all the jar files. So let's copy it from here, Control C, and just paste it in this, Control V, and then go to auxiliary. In auxiliary you have more, Control A, Control C, and just paste it here. Now go back to your XML library and just Control A, Control C, and what you have to do is just paste here, and then go back to your library and then Control A, Control C, and what you have to do, you can simply paste here. Yeah, it all got over here, right? So what we have to do, just copy. In Windows 11 this kind of icons you can see, right? In Windows 10 it might be little different, but for me right now it is really easy to copy all, or to paste all like that. So right now we will go back to this folder and let me expand it. Once I'll expand it to this POI folder, we can click and we can see that we have copied all the files over here, right? So what is next is and be careful to copy all the jar files inside that, otherwise we will not be able to get the connection. So what next we have to do, we will go back to our Eclipse ID, and you can see right now nothing is there, but what we have to do, we will refresh it. Once we refresh it, all the files, you can see all the jar files are here now. So now what we have to do, we have to create the reference library. To create the reference library, we will do right click on our Java Part 1 and we will go to properties. Once we are in properties, we can see this Java build path. Under this Java build path, we can find this library. Just click on the class path, and once you click on the class path, these options will be available. So what you have to do, add jars. Once you will click on add jars, this window will pop up and just open these folders. Once you will open this POI folder, you can see all the jar files, and what you have to do, click on here, press shift and just keep on pressing the down arrow key, and that's how you can select all of these jar files. Only these jar files we have to select. So now what we have to do, just say okay. So you can see all these jar files has come to your class path. So what you have to do next is apply and close. Once you apply and close, the reference library got generated, and this reference library do have all the jar files over here that will help us to connect with the Excel sheets, with the coding and all that, right? So now what we have to do, now we will create an object for the class as XSSF workbook. So this is XSSF and it will be a workbook. Let me say workbook, and it will be like let's say workbook equals to new, and again XSSF workbook Control C, we can do Control V here, and simply like that. Right. So what the very important thing to notice over here is that in our Excel sheet, what do we have? We have worksheets, and in our worksheets, what do we have? We have workbook, and in our workbook, what do we have? We have the rows, and then the columns, and then the cells. Okay. So let me open. One thing I will change here. 1 second. Our workbook will come first, right? And then our worksheet will come. Worksheet is the second thing. By mistake, I wrote it wrong here. So if I will open the Excel sheet, let me open Excel. If I will open any Excel sheet, I can show you. See, this is our workbook, right? And this is our worksheet. So we have worksheet 1, only one worksheet here. If I click on this, I can get another worksheet, right? In this worksheet, what do we have? We have the columns, we have the rows. All these are the columns and these are the rows. And this is the cell, and cell name is A1, right? So this will be the this is our Excel format, right? So let me close that and don't save, and we will go back to our Eclipse ID. So what we have to do now, if I'll do hover over here, it will give me the option for XSF workbook. And why it is giving me this option? Because we already have this reference library. If our reference library with all the jar files will not be there, we will not be able to get this import option over here. So we have to be very careful. The first thing is that we need to get this reference library with all the Apache POI jar files, and another thing that these spelling should be correct. If there will be any mistake in this spelling also, then also it will not be providing us this option. If you want to see, I can show you like this. I did a mistake here, and when I hover over, it is not showing me the import option. So be careful when you are writing the code for the connection with the Apache POI and this Excel sheet. So now we have the option to import it. So I will import it here. Now what we have to do inside the workbook, inside this workbook, what we have to do, we have to create the worksheets, right? So creating the worksheets, what is the code? The code will be XSSF, and then it will be sheet. And then what can we do? We can create a variable as sheet over there. Let's say I want sheet 1, and then equals to, it will be, we will take this instance, right? We'll be saying WB workbook dot create. We have to create the sheet. So we will take the method as create sheet. So you can see we have the string option in the second one, and now yeah, we have the this option here, so we will take this option, right? And now what we have to do, we can put some string over here. Actually, instead of this one, let me do WB dot create sheet. We can take the first option. Let me take the first option first, right? And now if I hover over here, it will give me the option for the import. Let me import it. Once we import that, what we have to do next? Next, we have to create the rows, right? Once we created the sheet, after creating the sheet, we have to create the row. So to create the row, the code will be XSSF and then ROW, and we can say row 1, right? And equals to, we can say sheet 1 dot create row, right? We can create the row. So this method we can take from here, right? And here now what can we do? Just the semicolon. Hover over on the XSF row, again we need to import it, just import that. Further, after that, as we know, workbook completed, worksheet completed, row completed, and then the column will be coming by itself. So we have to focus on this row, and now we have to create the cell. So to create the cell, what we have to do again, we will take the advantage of XSSF cell, and then what we have to do, we have to give it a instance name, let's say I want to say cell1, and for cell1 is equals to row1, row1 dot create cell, right? So creating the cell, let's take this first one. And as we want to create the cell, so we can start with this index number 0. And then further, what we have to do in the cell, we have to import it. We will again import it, and then in the cell, let's say cell1 dot. In the cell, what we have to do, we have to put the value. So what we will be using? We will be using the method as set cell value. And as we can see, there are so many set value methods with the different data types. So let me take this string value here, and let's say I want to give the name as James, right? I want to give the name as James, and so it will create one value, right? Now what next I want, what next we should do here? Let me see that for any file, the most important thing is to create the path. And as we are writing this file, so what can we do? We can take the string as path, and we can give it a value. We can initiate it with the path value. And what should be the path? Our path, we are doing for the usual files, we are putting our all the files in this data folder. So we can simply say data, and 2 backward slashes we can give, and let's say I want xyz file, and extension we have already talked about. Which extension we will be using? We will be using .xlsx. This extension we will be using. So this xyz file should get create here in this data folder once we completed the writing part. So now next what we know very well, as if you have seen my previous videos for the text file writing and reading. So we have to create an instance for the file, and let's say it is f, and then we have to do new file, and then we have to give the input here. So let's first import it. Once we click on that, it will import over here automatically. All the imports been doing very well. And then if I hover over here, it will ask the argument, and in the argument what we have to give? We have to give the path. So we simply can give the path over there. Now what next after this? Because we are writing the file, right? We are writing the files. For writing the file, the main thing is we have to create the instance for the file output stream. And for reading the file, what we have to do? We have to create the instance for the file input stream. So because we are writing here, so what we have to do? File output and stream. Be careful for the spellings. If there will be any spelling mistake, it will not allow you to import. So always be careful for that. And let's take this from here to here. And then what? If I hover over here, it will give me the option to import. If everything is correct, then only it will give me. And if I hover over here, it will give me the to put the argument, and the argument we have to put this instance for the file. So that's fine. And now what is there? It is asking me to throw an declaration. So I can do that, because you know very well, while we are dealing with the file, this file not found error can be happen over there. For this also I have explained in the previous videos very well. You can go and check the previous videos for like this text file creating, for property file creating, and also in exception handling I have explained it very well. So now further what we have to do, once we have created an instance for this file output stream, the further thing what we have to do is, for our workbook, we have to use the method as write the method, right? And when we are writing the method, this file output stream instance we have to put there. And again, if I hover over here, it will ask me to throw the declaration, and for the error exception handling we can use this. And then when we are writing any file, the main important thing is that we have always need to use the close method. So use this close method. So far with this Excel sheet writing, all the coding has been completed, right? What we have done, we have created an instance for this workbook, then we have created the sheet, then we have created the row, then we have created the cell, and then we have created a string for the path, then we have created an instance for the file, and then we have taken the advantage of this class file output stream, and we have created an instance for that, and then we use the write method, and then we use the close method with the workbook instance. So everything has been done so far, and let me save it. Once I will run, so far there is no file with the extension as .xlx. So let me run this program here. Once I will run it, let me refresh it here. After refreshing, it should get create. Let me refresh it. You can see this is the XYZ XLS. So if I open here, you can see this James over there. So now with this all this kind of coding, you can create more data inside the Excel sheet. I hope it will help you to understand how to handle the Excel sheet in our Eclipse IDE or in our Java programming. So if you like the video, please do share and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching it.